thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy Podcast. First up, Moose Financial. Get the most out of gig work with Moves. As gig workers ourselves, we understand gig work can be unpredictable, but your finances don't have to be. Moves is the all-in-one banking app tailored for the way we work. You can earn stock rewards from the gigs that you work. They also have cash advances up to $1,000, which is incredible. And access, of course, to 55,000 ATMs. Jeez. And that's all for free, of course. And then Moose is a no-brainer when you're tracking your finances. They track up to 17 platforms, so Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, like all the majors, and probably some you've never even heard of. But that is so you can figure out how much you're making each week. Everything goes into that little app, and they crunch the data, and they give you all that information, so it's great. And also, Moose provides gig workers a seat at the table by giving their members free stock rewards. So why wouldn't you use Moves? It's the all-in-one debit card that you need, an app. If you go to link.movesfinancial.com/GEP, that's link.movesfinancial.com/GEP, you can sign up for the app. We'd love for you to join us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search the Gig Econ Podcast. Patreon.com, search the Gig Econ Podcast. Or just search the Gig Economy Podcast. There are a $5 tier and a $10 tier of support. You can actually put whatever you want in there. If you want to put $1,000 a month in there to support us, you can do that too. Obviously, I don't want you to do that, but I do. But anyways, yeah, $5 gets you the pre-show banter. $10 a month gets you the pre-show banter, early access to bonus episodes before anyone else, and after the third month, you get a piece of merch from the Gig Economy Podcast. Check it out. We would really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight we have Mr. Gary Middleton as guest host, as Jesper is still flying. He's supposed to be home in Chicago tonight at 10. And then, of course, we have John McCallion. Check John's Instagram at Mr. John McCallion and all that fun stuff. Some guy, Middleton Tech, said, Jesus, 7-minute intro or what? I don't know who that is. You're muted, Gary.
It was 2 minutes and like 48 seconds.
Yeah, I gotta spam all the Facebook groups, dude. I cut it out in the audio podcast, so you only get like the first couple seconds.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna get up and go to the restroom.
That would have been a good time to do it.
Yeah, perfect, right?
Yeah. If you guys could share the show, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff on YouTube. Love to see you on YouTube. Also, if you go to gigeconomyshow.com, that's where you can find everything about our show. And also, there's a merch sale right now, 35% off. You can get the basic t-shirt for $14, or you can get a tri-blend super soft, which I don't even have mine on tonight, for $22. So check it out. Link is in the description for that. Also, just real quick, we are switching to a different audio platform host. You should not notice a difference at all. But if you do stop seeing our show, just let us know. And then we're starting at 8 p.m. As we're here now, because I'm getting too old. As we talked before the show, how much my pee just dribbles out and doesn't come out like a solid stream. Here we are, Pee Talk, 3 minutes in. I want you to come to our picnic in Grand Rapids. That's going to be on September 17th at Riverside Park. We would love to have you there. I know there'll be a few people that will be out and about from local areas and from, I think John is coming from North Carolina. John doesn't frequent the live stream at all, but he's in our Telegram group. And then Larry Duncan is coming from Kentucky. So we'd love to see you there for that. Just want to mention our Patreon members, Keith from Indiana, Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Chris from Grand Rapids, James from Fort Collins, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Tom Kelly from Houston, and Tyler Kane from Oklahoma. I appreciate you guys. I did send out all your shirts, the ones that were getting them, so hopefully you'll get them soon. Then just want to mention Steve from Rideshare Rodeo. He usually chimes in at some point. Thank you, Steve, for supporting the show. And then, of course, If you go to uberlyftdrivers.com, you can find the podcast there. So before we jump into the news, John has a story from the road. I have a small story. It's not exciting, but I want to hear John's story for today.
Well, you made it seem like they're way more exciting than they are.
Sorry,
but,
that's my job. I'm a podcast host. I'm supposed to build it up.
Yeah, he's hyping it up, man.
I know. I don't know.
John's gonna be like, yeah, I drove to the gas station.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the story is. I'm trying to give you a good setup.
No, I appreciate it. I caught on, but yeah, today I actually did a couple orders that I would have never done before. I took an order from Smart and Final. I don't know if you guys have that out there.
What's it called?
Kind of like a Smart and Final.
Nope, not for me.
It's like a warehouse store, kind of like Costco.
Okay.
But they got rid of their membership a while back. It was super easy. I think it was like 3 cans of Lysol and like 2 Gatorades or something like that. Paid $20.
Really?
And yeah, it took me like, I don't know, like maybe 4 minutes to shop.
Was it because of a tip?
No, they only took $5. Doordash paid like $13 or $14.
Okay.
So how many miles was it?
5.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. But you were saying you were doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Is that a store you wouldn't normally go to?
Correct. I used to decline these orders all the time.
Okay. For what reason? Just the low pay?
No, I just don't like shopping, but I realized that how easy it is to do shopping orders on DoorDash. It says the aisle. You just you don't even have to substitute. You just put not found item if you can't find it. Automatically refunds the customer, and usually like it's just like Gatorade, soda. There's like no produce usually. None of the complicated stuff. It's super quick. So I do them now. I really enjoyed it.
I thought I had a time where I did have to text the customer. Now I didn't have to wait on them. I just still had to text them. And they texted back. Then I did have to sub. But I've also done them the other way where it's just move on. So
correct.
I don't know. I think that would be good. Especially, I know a lot of people try to get those Costco orders because sometimes they're not a lot of items. They just can be a little bulky. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you got to do what you got to do. So if you got to shop, you got to shop. So I actually did some gig work in the last 2 weeks. You guys are going to be shocked. I actually got a curry order.
Hallelujah.
I know, right? So for whatever reason, I feel like curry, which I probably shouldn't say that, turned a switch on in my area. Now, there's not a ton, but I would guess 4 to 5 requests a day. And it used to be like 1 a week. So yeah, I got one. I was punching out at my other job and it was on my way home. And then it went out a little past my home, but it paid like $45 and it was like 15 miles. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I actually did a piece of gig work and I applied that $45 to my air conditioner that I had to replace over the summer.
Nice.
So $45 and like $5,000 air conditioner.
Yeah, no, it was only $3,400, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, my air conditioner was 32 years old, so it, yeah, it's
that's how old I am. I'm 33.
Are you? Isn't that incredible that air it lasted that long? Now I will say it wasn't as efficient because when I got the new one in and I kept it at 70, it was too cold. So it was like I had to make it warmer in the house because at 70 with the old one, it wasn't great. But 70 with the new one, it's like I'm in the studios in the basement. I'm like, I'm freezing down here. So I guess that's good.
Yeah, I'm battling with that today. It's like 106 outside.
Oh man, I don't think my system would be able to even keep up at 106.
Mine does good, but in my office here, I got 3 computers going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And I have to keep the door closed, like right now, so we don't get a whole bunch of noise from the rest of the house.
Yeah.
And it is hot in here.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you just have the one vent?
Too.
Huh?
Do you just have the one vent in there that?
Yeah, I just got the one vent. It's right there.
Okay.
I mean, the house is 70 degrees everywhere else. Just in here, it's hot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I got a show I listened to. He's in the dormer above his garage. And as I have a 2-story too, or it's like a tri-level. It's not the whole house isn't a 2-story, but it's like 10 degrees hotter up there for the kids. So they got to actually have window rattlers in. I know I spoiled the shit out of them. I didn't have one of those when I was a kid, but I put those up there because it just doesn't cool up top. So
I actually witnessed a car accident today.
You did?
Yeah,
Doesn't
it was
happen
really
very
bad.
often.
It doesn't. So basically, real quick, because I know we got to move on. But real quick, the guy was making a left, and he took the. It was like it was an older Nissan Pathfinder. He took the left turn a little bit too quick, then he lost control, and he slammed into the car behind me.
Ooh.
And then that car backed up. I think it was a Honda CRV. He hit it so hard that the Honda backed up and hit the Tesla.
Oh no, not the Tesla.
And he tried getting away. She tried making a hit and run.
Good luck.
I don't know what happened after that.
Good luck getting that body fix on that Tesla. Actually, it probably made it better. Before we jump into news, Gary, just want to talk about what you do. Gary owns Middleton Tech and has 3 amazing apps that you can subscribe to. Basically keeps you safe on the road, makes you more money. I try to emphasize being safe because I know that's Gary's passion about being safe behind the wheel and not texting and driving and declining. So, Gary, why don't you just get a brief overview of your apps? I know people have heard about it, but just coming from the actual creator of the apps, and then if you're working on anything else.
Well, didn't you just give an overview?
I know. It helps you make more money and it keeps you safe. But
he set it up for you, Gary.
I know, right? I mean, that's how I describe my apps to everybody that asks me. I don't use the taglines that YouTubers use, and I say it's like your personal assistant.
Okay.
You tell it what you want to do, and it does it for you.
Yes.
So if you want to accept orders, say over $7 and more than $1 a mile, and an order comes in that meets that, it's going to accept it. And then you can go about your day and delivery or whatever. If it comes in below that, it can decline it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's other features in there too, like GPS tracking, stat tracking. And you know, one of the things about my apps is the longer you use them, the more efficient you become with them. You know, the data starts to pile up. You know, you can go back, you can look at past days, see which days are best days for you to work, things like that. I do at some point plan on breaking down the days by hours too.
Okay.
So that way you can go in and see which hours are best for you to work. And of course, the number one question, you know, I normally get is, when is DOH coming to iOS?
Never.
Cold day in hell.
Go get an Android.
Okay, you don't want me to show you the beta version?
What? You got a beta?
I do. I've been working on it all this week. Actually, I started in 2021. Actually, I looked at some code today and I actually started it in 2021.
Okay.
And I know the first version of it, Apple rejected.
Okay.
They was like, no
thanks.
No. So I'm recoding it, like very in depth. Trying to be a little bit sneakier about what it shows.
Okay.
Apple.
Okay.
and so it's going to require some additional setup, just like the Android does. You know, Android, you got to go turn on accessibility permissions and things like that. So you'll have to do a little bit extra setup here as well. But I think this version might pass. I'm hoping, if I don't get it uploaded for testing, because there's 2 phases you can do on Apple. You can do testing and then you can do release.
Okay.
They have to approve both. Typically though, if they approve your testing, then they'll approve your release.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping before I leave Tuesday to go towards St. Louis. I think I'm going to upload it to testing there, and hopefully they approve it within the 3 days before the gig conference. So hopefully if I get to the gig conference, I might be able to give out some beta versions of it.
Oh, that would be incredible. I know I was talking to Leo, one of the fans of the show, and he's like, does Gary have Apple stuff out? I'm like, man, don't even ask him. Like, it's not that it's on you. I'm just saying, you know, Apple is finicky. He had been using Maestro, and we had Maestro on the show for a little bit, and those guys are shady. I will just let you know, because they skipped out on a bill. And it's not like it was a big bill either, y'all. I mean, it was cheap. But he's like,
well, I mean, have you looked at the reviews? Now I don't know if it's the new owner or the old owner that skipped out on you.
The new one.
Oh, okay. Well, I say I'm gonna try and give him some props.
Jason's got personal beef with Maestro.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. I'm not, you know, I don't even remember the guy's name. It's
Doug.
no big deal. Well, you shouldn't have said it. I mean,
well.
I lied. I did remember his name. I was trying to be nice. But no, Leo said there's a beta for iOS, and they weren't supposed to charge him, and all of a sudden they started charging him, and he's like, this thing is still glitchy as shit. I'm not paying for it. So I'm like, I don't even know why you mess with Gary's or why you mess with this guy's stuff and not go to Middleton. He's like, well, because I need an Android. And I was like, well, okay. Do you want to make more money? I mean, it's
right.
Android phones are cheap. I bought my Pixel for like $45. It's a Pixel 5. So.
Well, see, every time I download anything from the Play Store to use, and it's a subscription base, I always look at the reviews.
Yeah.
If the reviews are like, they won't stop charging me, they keep charging me, like, I'm not going to sign up for it.
No. I agree.
I can deal with crashes or errors, especially beta. I mean, I'm a coder. Somebody asked me earlier today about something, and they was like, well, do you think that's incompetence on their part? I was like, well, I'm a coder. I hate calling other coders incompetent because it could just be a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about incompetent apps later on with Doordash, but yeah, no, I get it. So you taught yourself how to code, right?
Yes.
So you must have another full-time job, right? Or is this your jam?
Well, I do gig work full-time.
Oh, okay. I thought you just did it like as part of like.
No.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, it's funny how I got started. Is I was actually a beta tester for Maestro.
Ah,
yeah. And so, like, I was like 2 days in, and I've been coding for years now.
Okay.
Like, long time. And I was sending them, hey, you guys should fix this. Hey, here's how you should fix this. And they kept, come back to me like, stop sending us this stuff. I'm like, I'm sending them actual code to fix it.
Yeah. You're trying to be helpful.
Yeah. And I never forget it. The final response from them was like, if you don't like how our beta's going, just create your own damn apps. Okay. I had mine up in a week.
Wow. That's all it took.
Yeah. Maximo, the very first version, was up in a week.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
Well, because I already had the basis for it, because I already had an app switcher. It wasn't an app switcher that Maximo is today, but I already had the overlay. I don't know if you know the sidebar that I have in Maximo, but there's a sidebar you can put up, and it lists all the gigs like DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can tap the icons and it'll quickly switch to each one for you.
Okay.
Well, I had that up before Maestro was even out.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, but then Maestro came out, and I was like, well, I'll help these guys. But then they told me to create my own, so I just expanded Maximo, blew up.
Well, it sounds like you stole the code from Maestro and created your own.
No.
I'm just kidding. I got to give you shit.
No, they might have taken my code though.
Yeah, they probably. It's like you don't want you when you have a boss, you don't want to be smarter than your boss, and they're like, you know what, this guy, screw him. He's smarter than us, and this is embarrassing.
Well, it's kind of like I applied to work at DoorDash once, and they told me no, I wasn't qualified.
Okay.
I was like, okay,
yeah, whatever. Well, yeah. Well, I appreciate all your apps. Real quick, with there is a little bit of a learning curve on some of them. Even me, as far as, don't get frustrated. One of the great things is Gary is incredible on response, especially on Facebook. Like, I see his name more than anything else when I'm perusing through these, Facebook, is because he's responding to stuff. And he fixes it, and he's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Or just email. I mean, he runs it all. So
no, the thing is, you don't even have to email me. I mean, email's great, but I hate email, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do too.
Find me on Facebook or Twitter. Send me a direct message. That way there's no delay.
That's true.
Because like sometimes you email me, and it might take 24 hours to get something done. But if most of the time, like you, Jason, you message me right away, I tell you what to do, and it's done and over with.
Yep.
A couple minutes. Right. So every one of my users can, or not even a user, if you're going to be a user, you can message me.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only creator that ever allows that.
Yeah. You're very available, and I really appreciate that. Even when I was using the apps, I was having a little trouble. I now I message them straight, but I would email them and be like, yeah, do this. I'm like, okay, cool. So there is a learning curve, but don't give up on it. Like, just, once you get it dialed in, like Gary said earlier, it's awesome. So,
yeah.
All right. That was a good intro. Gary and John need a wrench. What does that mean?
Well, I don't have a wrench in your thing.
What is it? I don't even know what a wrench means.
It's on the YouTube.
Oh,
when you're a moderator.
Oh, I don't get spammers. Once in a while.
Not yet.
That's all right. We're going to create a bot, John.
No, don't do that. All right.
We'd help you, but we ain't got a wrench.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's why I said not yet.
I see what you're doing. Okay. No shocker. We're going to talk about gas prices. Some DoorDash drivers are rejecting 9 out of 10 orders after fuel surcharge is scrapped. As I was reading through this article, they started it in March and they scrapped it in April already. It was only out for a month.
What, you talking about DoorDashes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they went in line with Uber and Grubhub and all them, but I believe they released theirs last.
Okay, I was done with gig work by then, so I don't really know. I just thought it went longer than April, but so yeah, it's just talking about why people are picking and choosing. Dasher Direct Card does offer 10%, which is, I think that's really good. I know they've had a little bit of trouble with their card, but 10% is quite a bit, especially when my truck is 20 gallons. So
have you noticed though that Dasher Direct Card? A lot of people are getting hacked on that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see it all the time on Facebook.
How are they hacking it?
I don't know.
There's zero security, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the thing is like there's nobody that's because the only way you could hack it is to get your login information.
Yeah,
and who has that? I mean,
you're the only one that should, unless it's such a weak password.
Yeah, well, I guess you could say that, but first off, why is there no two-factor logins? Yeah, two-factor login or anything. Like every time I have two-factor, if it allows it, I use it.
Me too. I am constantly, someone tries to break into our Twitter accounts. I don't know which one, because I have like 4 of them for the businesses and in the podcast for my other podcast too. I'll just have like 4 or 5 texts in the middle of the night trying to get the code, the 2-factor. Like, you ain't getting in. Like, it's not me. I'm sleeping. So I don't know.
It's me, Jason.
It is you, son of a bitch. Well, you got to text me that you're trying to break in, but
I'll let you know ahead of time next time.
Yeah, that would be great. So obviously a lot of people are spending more money on gas and being picky, but you're still seeing the shitty offers, John, though, right? Like people are still not tipping.
So my case is a little bit different. For me, actually, DoorDash has gotten better in the summer, but last year was pretty bad. But since we get Prop 22 here, DoorDash has actually got smartened up. Basically, the way Prop 22 works is that it's the difference between the base pay they pay you and then the guaranteed hourly in your city.
Yeah.
So now they're raising the base pay. They're like, hey, we're going to have to pay them that difference anyway. Why don't we raise the base pay and have the orders delivered rather than having to compensate customers for late orders or orders that are not getting delivered at all. So I'm hardly seeing any bad orders now.
That's actually pretty smart on DoorDash to do that.
Yeah,
at least
but they're also losing money. So
yeah. Gary, what are your main gigs? Are you doing any people at all, or are you just doing food?
No, I don't do any people in Oklahoma because it pays 56 cents a mile.
Oh, wow.
I'm not driving for that, hoping for tips. There's just no way. Right now it's mainly Spark.
Okay.
I like Amazon, Whole Foods. I don't like the package delivery, Yeah. And so, and then of course I fill in both of those with food delivery.
Okay.
So
are you, when you're doing Spark, are you doing the shop and delivers or just the delivers?
Curbside.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm very picky, and I don't know if it's just luck that I get these, but I don't go over 3 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Like ever. I don't take anything that's over 3 miles, and they always pay 20 plus. So,
dude, how are you even getting those?
What I think it is like there's so many. I don't know if you guys as Spark does this, but there's so many drivers that sit up at my Walmart up here that I go to. They just sit there, and as soon as something pops up, they accept it.
Okay.
And so, like, I've seen them pop up. I mean, they're not terrible, but it's like $40 for like 36 miles. I ain't driving no 36 miles.
That's
Crazy.
a long ways. I've never had one that long.
That is. I mean, if you complete it in 2 hours, you made $20 an hour. But
yeah,
I mean, I can sit around all day and pretty much get $7 to $10 DoorDash orders, few miles.
Are you saying so? There's drivers up there and they quick accept whatever's there, and then there's some nice leftover ones for you when they're all out.
They sit in the parking lot. I don't know if you guys have seen this. They actually sit in. They pull in. They take up a spot, and then they get out, and they're all sitting around with their phones in their hands.
Now I do sit at the parking lot, but I don't talk to people. And I don't grab the first one that pops up either. I wait till there's a good one. But there's times where I'm like, you know what? Nothing's coming. I threw DoorDash on. I usually give it about 15 minutes. And then I'm like, I can't stand sitting around. I gotta grab some DoorDash or whatever.
Well, see, and I'm not picky. I'm not picky about the item counts or, what it is. Cause I don't care. I will carry cases of water. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's an apartment, things like that.
What if it's on the 6th floor?
Yeah, I don't care. That's exercise for me. You know, I'm trying to lose weight, John. So,
well, you also have to worry about your back.
Well, he's not throwing them like a football.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, if I have a lot of water, I think I've only had to carry 3 cases of water up any stairs. So I've been very lucky. But I mean, like I'd sit there, and I look at the payout, and I look at the miles. If it's less than 3-4 miles and over $20, I'm taking it.
Damn. I'm hoping that I don't remember getting those good ones by mine, but we are actually having a Whole Foods open next month by us. So that will be something to add to my bucket for this fall. It's not near my house though. It's like 20 minutes away, but I mean, I don't know how it works. How does that work? Do they just pop up like a flex route and you just grab them?
What does say that?
Sorry,
again?
the Whole Foods.
Oh, the Whole Foods. Yeah, they pop up just like the regular routes do. They pop up, but it'll say mine here is C137, and then it'll say Whole Foods or whatever it is.
Does the app that you have work with that too?
My Flex Alert app, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now Flex Alert does not accept anything for you.
Correct.
Yet.
Oh.
Well, first off, it's not ever going to accept blocks that you predetermine like you would think, because it's a round robin system, and I try to keep my apps fair because iOS users obviously can't use them. So if Android's all auto accepting round robins, then iOS loses.
Yes.
But Amazon sends out reserve blocks.
Yep.
And so those I can actually accept for you because it's a direct send to you.
Correct.
And it wouldn't violate any terms of service or anything like that.
But the reserve blocks are usually dog shit for price. I mean,
I get Whole Foods reserve blocks
that are good.
Well, I mean, they're all good. They're $15 an hour starting plus tips.
Okay. I don't know anything about the Whole Food ones. I don't know.
Yeah, the Whole Foods are always the same price.
Oh.
Yeah, because what it is, it's like Spark. You go, the only difference is you have to go sit there for 2 hours, whether or not you have deliveries or not.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. You can Whole Foods, you have to go. Like you accept a block, you gotta go sit there, you gotta check in. When they first came to my market, I mean, I would go sit there, check in, and then I would do food delivery in the same area, keep it less than 2 miles. Because I would never get anything. So I got the I think it's $18 guarantee back then.
Okay.
For the Whole Foods for 2 hours plus all the deliveries I did.
Oh, so that's so strange. So I'm learning something tonight. This is incredible. So basically you might not even have any orders. They're just paying you to be there. And then if you get one, you get tips on top of that.
Well, typically you don't get one.
Okay.
Like now they've been in my market for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So they've been here a while. Like this whole last Amazon lawsuit that they paid everybody out, I actually got a payout from that.
Oh, nice.
So that's how long I've been doing it. But now whenever I go pick up there, I mean, I might get 6 stops.
Okay.
And I always get tips.
Okay.
Always. Like I'll have like $30 from Amazon. and then I'll have like $70 worth of tips.
Oh, damn. And
for
in
2 hours.
And yeah, it was like 6 stops shouldn't take you that long anyways.
No, sometimes they are very long.
Oh.
Now, one thing I don't do that I see a lot of other drivers do is they'll deliver and then the app tells you, hey, you got to go back to the Whole Foods warehouse. I never go back.
No,
never.
So once you're done with your deliveries, you're like, peace out.
Yeah. I mean, unless it kept me in the same general area within a few mile range.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they're sending me 15 miles out, I ain't driving 15 miles back.
And you've never had an issue?
Never.
Ooh, Gary, dropping knowledge on the show tonight. That's incredible. Well,
I love it. I love Whole Foods.
I'm excited for it. Again, it's way on the other side of town for me, which kind of sucks because you know me, I don't like to leave my little suburb when I'm doing food delivery, but I'll have to try it out. I mean, if the money's worth it, the money's worth it. I'll drive out there if the money's worth it.
Now, are you just now getting it there?
Yeah, they're not even open yet. August 1st, they're opening. Yeah.
So basically, I don't know how that's like when we first got it, gig work wasn't a huge thing. Delivery wasn't a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're talking about 5 years ago.
Right.
So, you know, now you might get there and everybody might order. So you might get a lot of runs, especially
That's
if
true.
Yeah.
I
mean, like you say, you get $15 an hour guaranteed plus the tips.
Okay. I just Googled it. It's actually open the 17th of August, not August 1st. So, well, I'm excited. You know, one more reason not to do rideshare. Next article is speaking of other gigs. Instacart has launched a gig worker rewards program. If Steve was on here, I have a picture of an Instacart order too. I wanted to.
He loves himself some Instacart.
I know, that's why I wanted to.
Instacart.
I know he loves it.
In fact,
number one app.
He invested about $20,000 into their stock too. I heard.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I heard he's doing Instacart right now. That's why he's not here.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Makes sense.
Somebody text him. So through the system, shoppers that have fulfilled 20 orders qualify for a tiered rewards program, reaching the next level after fulfilling 100 and top level after getting 200. So as long as they retain an average of 4.7 out of 5, members gain access to tailored rewards and offerings, both from Instacart and third-party partners. For instance, members in the highest tier can receive 2 days per quarter of highly discounted backup care for relatives or pets.
That's random as hell.
That's so random. From care.com. Okay, that is so...
Do you think it has to do with drivers complaining about like, oh, what if, you know, I know this isn't, you know, this is a more serious topic, but what if they get shot while getting or like shopping in a store? They're like, oh, what's gonna happen to my family? A lot of drivers were complaining about that, so maybe that's in response to that.
Or it's because there's too many kids in the car with these Instacart shoppers, and they're like, hey, maybe we can get a daycare pay.
See, what's wrong with these companies? Why can't just give us more money? Like these stupid incentives.
Yeah,
because it's cheaper for them to do this than to pay you more.
Well, what's funny is that this article, which is payments.com, they have actually a lot of articles, but
they do.
That's what they're highlighting the backup care. Like, is this the best reward they're starting with, and it goes down from here? I don't know. I probably will never do Instacart again. I mean, it's gonna have to be pretty nice, but you know, Uber had that free tuition. We're actually going to bring Keith on. I got a note to get a hold of him. He's one of our Patreon members. He actually got a degree from the Arizona State University online through Uber, and was paid through Uber. So I kind of want to talk to him about the process of it. But I mean, that's pretty nice.
Well, see, that I was going to say the Uber one, I could see college.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's free. It's free.
Right. You know, but I mean, daycare.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go drop my kids off at daycare so I can go do Instacart.
Yeah. I mean, some people have to do it. And I do feel bad for them, but I mean, like, if that's your biggest perk, then I'm going to pass on rewards for that. So,
right. I mean, most people I know that have kids, they just take them with them.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's super simple.
I see people, I do the shop and delivers for Walmart for Spark. At least I did last year. And I see kids in the cart all the time, and they're just helping mom or dad or whatever, and they're just chilling, getting snacks and shit. It's probably pretty nice for them. So honestly,
learning the value of a dollar.
Yeah, well, it's so funny, dude. Speaking of inflation, I'm interested to see when I go back this fall. But even when I was finishing up, I was seeing things increase. It would be on the app. Let's say it would say it was $1, and it would be like $1.25 or $1.50 on the tag. Like I'm like, damn it! Before my eyes, I'm seeing things go up. So
50% markup.
Ugh, it's crazy. All right, the next couple, we have 3 TikToks in a row. They're not super long. The 2 of them are about the Walmart drone plan or whatever program. Sorry, forgot that word. Which, as much as I shit on Walmart, they do try to innovate. They do spend a lot of money on new technologies. Not a lot of it's, or maybe it's like they throw it at the wall to see if it sticks, and they spend $20 million on it. So I give them for that, for research and development. So we'll watch the first drone. It's kind of what the drone does as it takes off, and then we'll watch a messed up one. Sorry, that music was a little hot. Yeah, so
my favorite song.
Yeah,
it's funny. We talked about this on the round table, a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen drones doing delivery.
Have you really? Like in real life, or just driving around?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen them. Like there's 2 drones that I've seen here. One is similar to that one.
Okay.
But then the other one is the camera drones that they use.
Yep.
The big white ones that they have out. There's another one similar to that actually flies over and then lowers down, drops the package off of a string, and then goes back up.
Okay. Yeah. So the one we watched it's got a little parachute on it, and it lets it go. It's like a mini airplane, really.
Right.
And the other one, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I have a tiny little drone right over there on my table, but so that one's probably more noisy than the other one, right? I would guess than the airplane one. I don't know.
I would assume so. Because it comes down, you hear the zzz.
Yeah, I mean, I got a mini DJI mini, wasn't that cheap, but cheap for DJI. And that thing sounds like a chopper. I mean, it's just like, and you know what I mean? So imagine getting it.
I got a funny story real quick.
All right, go.
I don't know. It's 3 years ago, maybe 4. I decided I was going to get a drone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to the mall, and I'm talking to the guys at the mall, and they're like, oh yeah, you need this drone right here. It was like $150.
Okay.
Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. And, in the store, he's up flying around, going left to right, all this stuff, showing me cool tricks and everything. I was like, okay, that's cool. I get home, and I got it set up in my house.
Okay.
And I hit the 2 toggles to turn it on.
Uh-oh.
And the damn thing goes straight up into my ceiling.
Oh, no. Crashed everywhere, right?
Crashed everywhere. Broke.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
wow.
so I took it back up to him, and I exchanged it, and I told him what happened, and he's like, okay. He's like, well, fly this one outside. I'm like, okay. So I get home, and I'm messing with it, and I tap it again, and what it does is, I guess it has like some type of sensor, and it flies so far off the ground, and then just kind of bounces and hovers for a second.
Yep.
And I didn't know that at first.
Yeah.
So now I'm outside, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm flying this thing around, and I mean, it's like stupid fast. Like you barely press forward. Is
yeah.
I ran that son of a bitch into a tree.
Oh no!
Broke it.
That's like number one thing that happens to drones.
Yeah.
Flies to a tree.
Well, and then so I went to a different drone store, like an actual drone store. One where they teach you to fly and everything like that. And I'm talking to that guy. And he's like, and I showed him the drone that I had from a picture and everything. He goes, oh, that drone's crap. He goes, it has no flight stability. It has no GPS, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like basically it's kind of like a kid's toy drone.
Right.
But it was $150.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, why don't you try this drone if you want to try one? And it was a real drone. It was $225, I think. So much better though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I pressed up and it just slowly hovered up, well, first off, you had to like calibrate it with your twisting and stuff like that, but That was my funny story.
For $75 more, you got a better drone. That's crazy. Yeah, my Mini costs $300, and that's on the low end. Like that's the cheap if you buy a brand new one. Although, as I fly it, it doesn't go as near as far as I want. I already start losing connection, so I'm already pissed about that. So
I was always afraid to send. I mean, I took mine pretty far, but like I was afraid I was going to lose the connection, and it just keep going.
Well, with the DJI, it guarantees once you lose connection after 10 seconds, if you don't do anything, it just comes back to the home spot.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, you don't even have to touch it. It sets your home spot where you're at, and if you lose connection, it's like 10, 9. I try to bring it back even though I can't see it on the screen. And if I'm not, I just wait, and then it goes to a desired or your whatever the height you set, comes home and lands.
Yeah, see, the one for 225, it had a home button on there I could press.
Yeah.
But I still had to have connection. Like I said, this was a while back. They're probably a lot better now.
Yeah, they are.
But I'd press it and it flies back, set right in front of me. That's cool.
Tyler says, I'm working on getting my commercial drones pilot license. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I watch those drone racing when they race like through abandoned things. I'm like, I would smash my shit. So a lot of plastic, a lot of practice. I mean, they're going through like
fast too, like
like holes the size of like a computer monitor, and just like
they're looking down at a phone screen.
It's like straight up like real life Star Wars. Honestly,
like the first obstacle I had to fly through, I'd probably just burrow right into.
Oh
it.
yeah, I surprisingly have only hit the tree once, and it fell and it almost landed in the water. I was up at my mother-in-law's lake house, and it didn't. So thank you.
I'm surprised nowadays that they haven't done VR.
They do have it.
Do they?
Oh yeah, Google it. You can watch guys.
That might be better then.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. All right, here's a botched Walmart drone delivery. Here it comes. Oh, that thing's quiet.
Right in the tree.
That's how Garrett flew his drone.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I do with mine.
It was pretty quiet. I was actually surprised. That was the airplane one. It was pretty quiet.
It sounds like a Prius going by.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I do think that is the future. I think Amazon's going to do it too. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, think about the gas that John's frozen. Think about the gas they'll save on flying a package
electric drone.
Yeah, less than 5. What is it? Probably 5 pounds or less that they can fly. P says seems like a lot more precision is needed to deliver.
Well, there's a girl on TikTok. She's always ordering food delivery, and it comes by drone. But they're over in like Europe or something like that, I think.
Okay.
UK or somewhere.
Yeah.
But she's always getting same type of drone as this one. It's the airplane drone, and she's always getting food delivered that way.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and it's always hits her backyard. I mean, the placement's a little off every now and then.
Yeah.
It's not like dead center. Like it'll be one time one side of the yard, another side of the yard.
Yeah.
But,
Pete makes a good point. A lot more precision is needed for those parachute ones because you have to time the drop. And I think over when at bunch of practice. But yeah, with a regular drone, I mean, for the most part, once I'm comfortable with it, I can pretty much land that thing anywhere off my phone.
Now, do you think someone's actually like monitoring this and hitting drop?
Yes.
Or do you think it's automatic?
Like,
is it GPS based? And they're like, okay, we're there.
Drop it? Way. Because what about a pool in the backyard? Like, does it take it? It has to be manual at this point. There's no way. Cause you'd have to there's a swing set, there's a pool, there's a shed. Like if you cause I mean, even when I'm doing my lawn care work, the pin sometimes is weird where it puts the pin. If they're going off that, I mean, sometimes I'm, 0.2 of a mile away from the house.
See, what's going to be crazy if this is the future, though. If this is the future of delivery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how many deliveries go out a day.
Oh,
so all you're going to hear is zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah,
they're going to be running into each other.
Yeah, it's going to have to be incredible. I don't know how they're going to do it, but Of course, somehow Amazon will take over.
Yeah, Amazon will be in control of all. Amazon or Google, one of the two.
Right.
I actually did my first Macy's order today. It was a stacked order, and those packages were pretty light. I could see those packages or orders being delivered on drones.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's 5 pounds. Well, no, we looked this up. Like I said, when we did this on the rodeo, we looked it up, and there's some drones that carry up to 40 pounds.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I don't think it's going to be a flyby drone like this. It's going to be more like helicopter drone.
I was going to say, can you imagine a bag of dog food dropping and killing some kid? Talk about dropping it as you're flying over. Oh, Jimmy's dead. There's the Purina.
You killed Kenny, you bastards.
You killed Kenny.
Oh, my gosh. Let's hope not. All right, this next one, this is Doordash. I title it as Doordash troll video. This is really funny. It got me too, so that's saying something.
Man, here you go. And then you had the Impossible with cheese, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to see because do they taste just like the real one?
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Damn. That's crazy. I'm just playing. I got yours right here. I got my own.
Oh my God.
That was. Oh, and she tipped him.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was good. I've not seen anything, even if it was fake or not. I don't think it was. That her look was like.
No, that looked real.
That looked really real. Good for him. That's I hope Pete got him.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Really good.
Oh, that's incredible.
He's lucky that was a cool customer, because some people is like, hey, don't mess with my food, man.
I would have just dropped a WTF. She didn't even say anything. She was just super
I think
quiet.
she was shocked, though. I mean, you might be shocked. Like, if somebody
It's
came
true.
to your door right now and was like, oh, took a bite and then tried to hand it to you, like,
Yeah. I'd be like, am I on
surprised.
candid camera? Oh, man, that's great. Real quick, Moves Financial. They are the sponsor, one of the sponsors, the only sponsor currently of the Gig Economy podcast. John, you're going to put that. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
Get most out of gig work with Moves. As gig workers ourselves, we understand gig work can be unpredictable, but your finance don't have to be. Moves is the all-in-one banking app tailored for the way we work. This is where I should go pee and then have John read it. As a member, you can better manage your money, gain access to cash advances up to $1,000, and earn stock ownership in the gig companies you work for. They also offer access to over 55,000 ATMs for free. And then, of course, you can put multiple apps on there. It tracks 17. I think it's more than 17 now. I think they added a couple of more. And you can get immediate access to weekly payouts in up to 2 days at no additional cost. And then, of course, they give stock for the apps that you're working in, like Uber, Grubhub, Lyft, and all that fun stuff. So go to link.movesfinancial.com/GEP. That's link.movesfinancial.com/GEP. And then, of course, disclaimer, Moose Financial is a financial technology company and not a bank. Banking services provided by Blue Ridge Bank, NA, member FDIC. The Moose Financial Visa debit card is issued by Blue Ridge Bank, NA, pursuant to any license from Visa USA Incorporated, and may be used everywhere Visa debit cards are accepted.
Yeah, we appreciate having Moves as a sponsor for sure.
okay,
Yeah.
not to bash on your sponsor, but general question. Do you know if they're having the connection issue with the Dasher app that everybody else is having?
I'm not sure. See, this is the problem, Gary, with me doing gig work only in the winter. You know what I mean? Because I haven't really used any apps, like nothing, and once the winter starts, I ramp everything up and then I try it. So I haven't heard anything with that. Doesn't mean it's not happening. I know that there's been a couple pain points for transferring, but I know they're constantly working on that. They're a small startup. So are you saying that they're...
Well, because Argyle's down right now.
Oh.
That's typically Argyle for Doordash is down right now.
Yeah, and that's
who Solo and these type of companies use.
That's the connection piece, right? For the to keep it secure or whatever, back and forth.
Right, to get the
data.
information from Doordash.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I mean, I'm sure they're not going around blasting it on social media that they're having trouble with it, but
Solo does.
do they?
Yeah, they sent me like 7 emails.
Really? Maybe they. I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people had trouble with Para with that too, and right now Para's down, right?
Down for Doordash, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
They're always trying to do something. DoorDash. The sneaky.
Speaking of DoorDash,
What?
Well, no, we're on to Uber.
our next slide.
It's not DoorDash.
It's Uber.
Same thing. Well,
Learn to read, bro.
I must have skipped one then.
It's all right. See, I'm not the only one. Yesper gives me shit all the time that I miss his article. So I know this podcast is every 2 weeks. It's old news, but the Uber Files is out. 124,000 documents spanning the period from 13 to 17. So some of this stuff is pretty crazy. So according to The Guardian, the leak also shows Uber tried to shore up support by discreetly courting prime ministers, presidents, billionaires, oligarchs, and media barons. In addition to memos, presentation notebooks, and telling documents, the leak includes emails, iMessages, and WhatsApp exchange between the Silicon Valley giant's most senior executives. It says, as Uber began offering its rideshare service around the world, The Guardian reports executives were under no illusions about the company's law breaking, with one executive joking that it had become the pirates. In 2014, a message to colleague, Uber's former head of global communications, Naria, I don't know how to pronounce that, reportedly stated, sometimes we have problems, but we're just fucking illegal. This doesn't surprise me. Does this surprise you at all that Travis was doing some shady shit just to get shit done?
Well, but I mean, it's a surprise to people now.
You think?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you didn't do rideshare back then, it's
True.
a surprise to you now.
That's true. We've been in the business for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like we seen how shady they started and how shady they still are.
Yes.
The only thing I'm sad about with this whole Uber leaks thing is there's not going to be a Super Pump season 2.
So I'm wondering if this came out because of that looking into creating that video or that series. That was on Showtime, right?
Yes. Yeah, and you can get a free 30-day trial to Showtime right now to watch it.
Yeah, I watched the first episode and it was really good. I just got so busy. I need to circle back in the winter.
It's good. Like I binge watched the whole thing.
Did you?
Oh yeah. I was like, man, it's kind of like that other lady that ran that medical company. And she scammed everybody.
Yeah, they just got sentenced to jail,
they
right?
just went to he just got to jail. He got more time than she did.
Yeah, because she's the darling, right? You know what I mean?
But again, the sad part, no season 2 ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's on Showtime, right?
Super Pump's on Showtime, yes.
What was her name? Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Something. I can't remember. One of the things, one of the articles says reveals Uber's alleged use of a kill switch to shut off the company's computer system to prevent authorities from successfully investigating the company's business practices as it disrupted the global taxi industry.
Yeah, that was in Europe or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then with another detailing how the company leveraged violent attacks on drivers to further its agenda. Does that actually mean like actual violence? I don't understand what that means. Like, it doesn't mean like they let people get their ass kicked, right? Like, am I being stupid about this?
They didn't advocate for like go out and assault our drivers.
Yeah,
but they didn't really do anything to protect.
Well, that is for sure. That is for sure. They didn't, but I don't know if it'll change anything. I mean, I think America's got other things really to deal with right now, and no one really gives a shit.
Nothing's going to change there until people stop taking rides for 56 cents a mile.
Exactly.
That's the truth, Gary. There's the
facts.
That is fact for sure.
But if you're going to use Maximo to do it,
that's right. Oh, look at you!
Look at that plug.
See. That's what I love about you, Gary. You're a nerd coder, but you still can hang. You know what I mean? Most coders, like, they don't see the sun. I mean, I'm sure you don't see the sun as much as you would want to, but, they're just hiding out and they're not, don't talk very much. So that's what I like about you. DoorDash. Now, this is incredible. They had a glitch that briefly allowed orders of free food, tequila, and contraceptives. Basically, talk about coding. I know you can't answer this question, Gary. How does this even happen? Like, talk about flipping a switch to somebody be like, I'm fired, or you knew that they were going to quit or they're going to get fired. They're not going to put their 2 weeks notice. They're like, flip, flip a switch, everyone gets it for free.
Well, see, here's my thing on this issue, on the glitch. How did it happen? Because
exactly.
Like okay, whenever I release an update, I don't have to send it to my supervisor, which then looks it over, that sends it to their supervisor, that looks it over, that sends it to whoever finally gets it and approves it, releases it to the Play Store or their servers or whatever. Whenever I do it, I go, oop, release it. If there's an error, I have to wait for a user to tell me.
Yep.
There's no way that somebody in DoorDash just did. Who's responsible? That's the thing. Like, how did it get that far released out onto the servers and nobody catch it?
I think it was like 2 hours, right? It was quite a long time. I wonder if it's so many hands touching it as it going up as you're talking about those tiers, and they're like, oh, I need to tweak this a little bit, and then pass it up to his boss, and they're like, oh, that's not quite right. And then the final one's like, yeah, I don't give a shit, just get it out of here. And then
that's what I was gonna say. The one time that I actually worked with a team, I did some very UI updates, things like that for them. I sent it to somebody, and then they sent it back, said, fix this. And I sent it back by mistake, the same exact copy, and they approved it. And then I had to email him real quick, like, hey, I sent you the wrong copy. And he's like, oh, that was already approved. I'm like, so basically they just assumed that I fixed it.
Oh man, you gotta cross-check that stuff.
Yeah, you gotta check that stuff. And luckily I checked it because I was contracted to them.
Yeah.
So, I was like, hey, you have to hurry up and release this one again before it gets approved by Google.
Yeah. You got ethics. So you're like, you could have been like, man, fine, screw them. I don't care. And you're like, no, don't send that out. That's not the right one, you stupid ass.
Right.
That's incredible.
But and that's what I'm assuming probably happened here is it got up to the people that actually care. They sent it back for revisions.
Yeah.
And then they got it sent back to them. And they're like, okay, send it up the ladder. And then everybody past tier 3 or whatever is like, yeah, whatever. Prove.
Yeah. Pete said the app probably doesn't change the way it does things for basic things like ordering for the most part. It was probably an issue of database tables getting moved or something like that. I don't even know what that means. So no,
this would have had to been on the pre-auth side of things. Because when DoorDash does like the way it's supposed to work, like if you try to use an expired card for my apps, Stripe is going to kick it back and say, nope, it's not valid.
Yeah.
They use Stripe too.
Oh, so you're saying it doesn't even get to you guys if it's a wrong card or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't even get to me if it's a wrong card because my credit card processor is like, nope, it's not a valid card.
Right.
So how did it get bypassed by so you either have to blame their credit card processor or somebody that coded it and it accidentally bypassed it.
I don't know how there's not levels of security set up to accidentally bypass to get charged.
Well, here's the thing about DoorDash though that I learned is they don't like doing anything external.
Oh, they do everything in-house.
Well, they want to build everything in-house. So I'm probably assuming that they're trying to switch over to their own processing instead of using all these third parties. Like they didn't like to use, like their maps. They didn't want to use Google Maps and things like that. Like they tried to get away from all that stuff.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense, less expense, but then you got so many irons in the fire. You got to
support it.
Yeah, you got to support it.
Stop reinventing the wheel.
Right.
Exactly.
So this guy tweeted, DoorDash just got their legal team together. Everyone that participated in this evening's event will be dealt with accordingly. They are prepared to do everything in their power to push those transactions through most major banks, including Cash App. And the next picture, John, if you want to throw that up there, is a picture of this dude's Cash App balance, negative 17,117. Says, y'all thought was doing something is the real GOAT. Thank you, DoorDash. Follow me on TikTok. Blah, blah, blah. Price list going to be going up soon. Get your bottles today. Basically ordered all the booze he could. And 17,000. Like, how are they going to get the money from that guy? Like, they're not.
Well, I would assume 17,000. Somebody's going to get charged because that's a felony if you didn't know.
Is it?
Yeah, like we looked it up. Anything, most states are anything above $1,000. If you use a card and you know it's not valid,
Ooh.
it's a felony.
Well, what about Cash App though? I mean, I guess there's still a
Well,
card attached to it.
There's still a card attached.
So
to
basically,
there's the middleman.
Yeah, if you don't know that you have $17,000 worth of cash and you buy that, even though the card went through, you're still on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean, they could push that to the state, whatever state it's in, and go for a felony charge.
Well, I don't think they will. What do you?
Yeah,
say?
I don't think they will.
DoorDash actually changed the limit purchase amount to
$500. Yep. I seen it on their website.
Oh, did they? The max?
Max spending.
Yeah, the max $500 now.
How they didn't have that up anyways? What if it
or
was
at least 1,000? You know?
Yeah, but what if? Yeah, exactly.
Try to make it rain.
What if it's a stolen credit card? Like if you had it at a $500 limit, okay, you're gonna piss off what 0.5% of all your customers because they want to spend more than 99.9% of them are spending less than that. You know,
yeah. And if you're spending more than that, you can just place 2 orders.
Right, exactly. You don't even care. So why they didn't have that on there in the first place? You're right, John. There's too many people are trying to do too much stuff. Like just, oh my God, that's incredible. Well, I'm interested to see the follow up on this guy. I should try to find his name.
There's
a TikTok name. I'll try to see if they still have an issue. So. A couple more pictures, and then we'll get out of here. This one is Amazon, and as Gary knows, we see this all the time. This is a note. This driver stood on the hood of my car and scratched it. Some dog in the neighborhood, we don't own a dog, intimidated him, and he thought he was okay to stand on our car. We told him to get off, and he won't. There are damages, and you need to pay for them. Two things. One, why are you putting in the notes section? Do you think this is a direct link for, you can take that off, John. Do you think this is a direct link for Amazon to read that shit? No, you need to get on a chat with them. 2, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to save your skin, right? I know Chris has been on the show before. He's in our gig economy chat, but he's been bitten by dogs twice. He's actually traumatized by dogs now because of that. And I don't blame him. I mean, when he walks up and delivers, he has like dog spray or whatever, pepper spray or something ready to go.
I carry mine too, just for that reason.
Every delivery?
Every delivery, it's in my pocket.
Yeah. Well, it's probably smart. Dogs, I have a respectful, what am I trying to say?
You love dogs, but you don't know what they're going to do.
Right. I respect them because they're dogs. I don't assume that they're not going to rip my nuts off. You know what I mean? I assume that they are, but
yep.
You have to have respect for them because otherwise you can get burnt.
I'll punch a dog in the face.
Well, I mean, if you gotta, you gotta.
I like to see that. I like to see you try when they're running that fast.
Yeah. Now, I've actually kicked a dog on an Amazon block.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like you deliver. Sometimes you get remote deliveries.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they're never on a leash, or they never.
Yeah, they're never on a leash. And I look before I get out of my car. I look around, make sure there's no dogs and everything. But I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable. And if I'm not doing anything to harm you, don't try to attack me.
Yeah, but
was it a small dog or a big dog?
That was a German Shepherd.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're one or the other. They're usually dopey or they'll rip your nuts off. One of the two. It's depending how they've been trained, Usually the little dogs are the worst.
But as far as this driver, I mean, Amazon carries liability insurance for that reason.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Like Tyler says, I'm not sure why they put the note in there. I mean, debit card pins, Amazon passwords. It's funny. I've seen him like, this needs to be delivered by this date. This is for my grandson. I'm like, bro.
Okay.
That note's
like we control that.
Yeah, I know. What is this? A small mom and pop business? No, it's the biggest company in the world. So that's not going to happen. Let's see. We already did the ad for Patreon. If you want to sign up for Patreon, appreciate it. Go to patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. I'm tired of talking. Next up, this one's freaking hilarious. It's a text exchange. I think it's a delivery. It says, "Hi, this is your waiter driver. Are you at the business? Yes, shut up and drive. Across from Domino's, that plaza on Military Highway. I'm unassigning the order. Have a good day. Unassigning? I'm not going to be told to shut up and drive. That's the name of the business. I teach drivers at shut up and drive, but you can unassign. Oh, I'm sorry. I already unassigned. Unassigned, big misunderstanding. Now, who's Googling that right now to see if it's an actual business?
I Googled
Did
it
you?
earlier. It is.
Is it? Oh, good. It's not fake.
Yeah.
I
Shut
actually
Up and Drive LLC.
That's hilarious. What a great freaking name for a car or for a company. Shut Up and Drive. Bravo. That's incredible. Next,
But now,
go ahead, Gary.
Would you have responded the same way?
No, I don't. Like, you mean unassigning?
Yeah.
Depends on the day I've had. It depends on what part of my shift I was at.
Cussing people out.
Also, if you're going to unassign, you just unassign. You don't let the customer know that you're unassigning.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I do.
What do you guys think about the people that take the order, say you don't tip, you're an asshole or whatever, and then unassign it?
It's just stupid. Just decline it. Let them get their cold food.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to take a hit to my completion rating, especially with Doordash glitching.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like if you're going to shit on the customer, you need to stay in the delivery and see what they say back, because you never see a response, right, from the customer because they've already exited out. They've unassigned it. Like if you're going to be a dick, stay in there.
They're going to say, "Oh, I cash tip."
Yeah, that never happens. I've had it happen like one time underneath the mat, and then the next time I went to the same house, it was same note underneath the mat, no tip.
I did that. I put it in my notes. A tip is underneath the mat, and they came up, they dropped it off, started walking away. I'm like, and I got on my ring, and I was like, "Hey, your tip's under the mat."
Oh,
Gary yelling at you.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Probably scared the crap out of her too.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point when you order, you should say, "I'm a gig worker. The tip is actually under the mat. I promise you. Please
this
look."
is old instructions.
Yeah, exactly. The next one is not picture is John's area. I think it's
LA. Yep.
LA. Like, look at that. That is some nice pink surges.
Yep.
You need to do rides, man.
Yeah, what's it pay per mile out there? Do we know?
I don't know.
The best person has to be Sergio, the one that works or writes for Rideshare guy.
Rideshare guy.
Yeah.
What about your friend that you love that you got in a fight with?
Ooh.
Does he does rideshare?
He doesn't do Rideshare.
Oh, just
and he's not in LA.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
No, he's in Riverside.
Oh, okay.
It's in between LA and San Diego.
LA is LA, whatever.
I mean, technically,
you take that off.
I would do one for 1 or 2 miles at that price.
Man, you don't drive far at all, do you?
Are we in this to make money or not?
I know. I'm just saying. I'm impressed how strict you are. It's so refreshing to hear that.
It's because he has to go home and code. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I break my days up pretty evenly.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I make my money that I need to make, and then I come home and code till midnight.
Oh my gosh. Do you ever can you actually? I wonder, could you code on the road if you were waiting for shit if you needed to?
Yeah, I got my laptop. Yeah, I used to, not in my new car, but in my old car, I had one of them police laptop holders.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so while I was waiting for deliveries or something, I'd be coding right there if I needed to fix issues.
Okay.
Nowadays, though, I mean, like my app's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So
it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's not a lot of stuff to fix. It's more if I want to add something.
Correct. And then things are, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the iOS to try it. I definitely try it this fall. I mean, obviously by then you'll know if it's working or not. Yeah.
Approved or not.
Yeah,
it's working.
I assume you would have it back. Well, not because of you, just because of Apple dragging their feet, because I know, like, so you'll probably have to bring that app in, like a lot of apps where it's like trusted. It won't be in the App Store, right? You'll have to get it from a website, right?
No, iOS, you can't do that though.
Yeah, you can.
No, you have to have a developer's account or a enterprise account.
Is that what it is? Because there's apps like GoPuff. The app's not in the store. You have to.
Yeah, they're an enterprise account as well.
Okay.
If you're an enterprise account, you can release it to your website, which I might try that. I'm not sure what Apple requires as proof, but I
Okay.
know that they say you have to have so many employees, things of that nature. I mean, I have all my business license and stuff like that, so that's not an issue. I just might
Right.
have to lie. I have to lie to him about how many employees I have.
In that house, you have how many employees?
No, I actually have a business address.
Oh, do you?
But yeah, I don't use my house.
Well, I meant we use a PO box, but
Yeah, that's what I use too.
oh, okay,
I mean, hell, they don't need to know.
that's
I
true.
mean, I'll hire 250 people at $1 for a year.
Right. Yeah, I'm learning so much about that because I was like, yeah, the verified whatever it's called. I've downloaded a bunch of apps for only gig stuff, not anything else. But
Right. Well, I mean, that's how DUH currently is the Android version. You can download it from my website.
yeah,
You
Yep.
know, and so, but I mean, I'm trying to release it to the actual app store first. You know,
just to see.
hopefully. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like the way I was doing it before, like I don't know, Apple's weird because you can use backdoors and APIs and all kinds of stuff, and they approve your stuff.
Okay.
But if you're actually doing it on the device itself, they're like, no. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. What is the difference?
It's quicker on the device.
Yeah. I mean, if it works the same.
It does. It essentially works the same.
Tyler says, "I'll be an employee to trick Apple."
Yeah. See. I'm sure I could easily find 250 people.
Yeah. Exactly. For sure. Well, Gary and John, thank you so much. This has been fun. I've actually learned a lot about Whole Foods. I've learned a lot about coding. I'm excited for your iOS beta app to come out. I'm sure we'll have plenty of people lining up to try that, and you'll be pulling your hair out when you're getting all the emails. No, I'm just kidding. But John, you got anything cooking?
Yeah, I'm actually going live tonight on my channel.
On YouTube or Instagram?
On YouTube.
Okay, cool. What
You
time?
can find it by searching my name, John McKillian. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So
Okay.
you'll probably be in bed by then. It'll be 10 Eastern.
Yeah, I'll be cuddling my wife. So,
Nice.
anyways, guys, I appreciate you listening to the Gig Economy podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks. Jesper will be back. I missed that guy. We talked for a few days when he went to Denmark, and then I left him alone because I wanted him to enjoy his vacation. I haven't talked to him in it's been like 8 or 9 days, and I do miss him. We work together in a small little business outside of it too, so we got a lot of catching up to do. But he'll be back in 2 weeks, and then that's not when you're going to be here, is it?
Yeah, it will be. Yep.
Oh shit! Is that August 6th?
I'll be. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
August
so you're
2nd, 3rd, 4th or 5th.
So you're going from St. Louis up to there?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
going
it's
from
August.
St. Louis to Cleveland, and then back from Cleveland to. I'm gonna stop by Grand Rapids.
Yeah, August 3rd. John is going to be in studio. I can't believe that's 2 weeks
If
away.
everything goes to plan, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you blow an engine, maybe not. But
as
yeah.
long as I don't get eaten by a bear or something.
No. If you're gonna get eaten by anybody, it's gonna be Jesper. No, yeah. So, John, in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Eastern, John will be in the studio with Jesper. All three of us. Oh my gosh,
Yep.
we're gonna get
Threesome.
We're gonna
Threesome
be
in
in
the
some.
studio.
I mean, I even told John I won't fast. So we're gonna have some beer so that by the end of the hour I'm gonna
Some local beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be slurring more than I normally am. So
We'll do the podcast drunk.
well, let's not go drunk. Jesper will have to drive
But-
home. So
Oh, okay.
all right, guys, have a good night.
See ya.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.